Okay, so today is May 2nd, 2025. And I'm listening to Kevin Trudeau's CD9, right? All praise to the Most High. And I am, at this point in my life, so inspired and so excited about change and transformation. Just like everything in nature right now is changing and transforming and becoming something vibrant and beautiful. And when I look at nature, I'm reminded that no matter how evil the world gets, no matter how um, your life may seem like it just ain't going nowhere, that you're stagnant, that um, you're not um getting anywhere. When I look at nature and I see these beautiful things emerging from the dirt, the darkest thing, right? The soil. You got these hostas coming up like little fingers. You got all of these spring babies popping up and putting off their perfume, attracting the bees so they can create honey for us and create microbials. Honey is a microbial, meaning it kills viruses, bacteria, and fungi, right? It's a natural antibiotic, right? So all of these things are working in harmony to sustain you. So I go back to scripture. Don't get me because I don't remember the actual scripture number, but I do remember, I believe it was in Ecclesiastes when there was the part where he said if the Most High, Ahaya, which is I am in Hebrew, um, would dress the lilies in like silk, then how much does he favor and love you if he's willing to dress flowers that bloom and put off a perfume for so long and then they, right? How much is he going to give to you? And so I'm so inspired. And I want to just say it doesn't matter what odds are against you, as long as you're not staying stagnant and you're reaching for that goal, it's going to happen in due time. I will be uploading on my YouTube page, Beloved Wildflower, an old recording. So I got these sections where I call it Wildflowers in the Attic, right? And it's just like old voice recordings and old poetry stories I haven't published or I don't plan on publishing. Um, and in there, I was explaining to myself now how full circle. I had no idea I was ever going to do like a YouTube page or a TikTok page or anything like that. Full circle. I created this voice recording October 11th, 2017. And it's so old that our youngest son was a baby and he's cooing in the background. And I'm telling myself to calm down and pace myself, that just because society says, well, you're this age, you should have this, and this, doesn't mean that that's what you need to strive for. You need to realize that everything has a season and a purpose. And as a wildflower that I know that I am, it's going to take me time to get to the place where I bloom and I put off my own perfume, but that's okay. I'm not going to look the prettiest to most folks. I'm not going to be the aesthetically pleasing flower, right? Because I'm wild. Most folks deem wildflowers as invasive and you need to get rid of them. So the entities that be has taught us to expel from the earth all of the wildflowers. That's the wildflowers, the people that don't fit in. And that's literally the wildflowers. So most of the stuff that we're rounding up with this spray that actually causes cancer is your medicine, right? So sometimes medicine and the things that you need to heal and grow and stretch and become beautiful are for men handsome. To be that light, sometimes it has to come with something that's ugly, right? And most of the time, people view dandelions as ugly. They view fleabane as ugly, mullein that's ugly, but these things are all medicine. Let the herbs, let the fruit and the herbs heal the nation. So my objective today, my intention today, is to inspire you to understand that you have a season and that sometimes you're not going to look pretty in that season. Part of the reason why I started growing out my locks was to break myself down and to build myself up internally, meaning to not showcase beauty out here, but pull it from inside to the outside. The Gospel of Thomas is a Gnostic of Thomas. If you bring forth what is within will save you. If you don't bring forth what is within will destroy you. So remember, whatever goal, dream, and purpose that the Most High put in you, it will only chase you for so long. If you don't act on it and you don't believe in it, it will fly away. And that regret will destroy you because you didn't pursue what you knew you were designed to pursue. Like we tell our boys, the greatest labyrinth is the fingerprint, right? You got all these spirals and circles. You're supposed to leave an impression on this world. That's why no one has the same fingerprint. And so once you get through this labyrinth, if you study the labyrinth and what the tribes believed in, the labyrinth was a symbolism of how one must go inside himself to find his great pearl, which is also a part of the Gnostic of Thomas. Slay his dragon, your ego. Aspects of your ego need to be tamed because you need that aggression and that power to showcase that confidence and move towards those goals. But you also got to tame some aspects of it, and you got to take out some aspects of ego because ego can make you narcissistic and trip you up. But once you find that great pearl, you must hold on to it. And that great pearl is your purpose and the things that the Most High has for you. And so these entities will showcase all the things that you did wrong in your life, all the things people said about you, and try to get you on a level where you stay in beast mode, where you're aggressive, where you're angry, you're depressed, you're anxious. And once you realize that there is a purpose, but I got to go through the labyrinth to find myself, who I truly am, what I'm supposed to be, not what everybody tells me I'm supposed to be, but what I'm supposed to be. Once you start that journey, yes, you'll get thorns and thistles along the way. And you will have times when you don't really believe in yourself. But he who has plenty has a big responsibility. Those who have certain talents and certain gifts, it is your obligation to share those things. And at 38, there are still so many things that I know I'm going to accomplish. Big dreams, big goals that are coming. And this is just a reminder for you that I don't care if your bank account is negative right now. We've all been there. The economy is tough right now. The economy is snatching people's heads off right now. But just know that it don't matter what your situation is right now. Think positively. Speak positive over your life. Write those goals down and put them up somewhere where you can see them. I'm constantly looking at my goals, and I don't care even if I'm tired, I'm still working on my goals. My day usually starts at about 4:45, 4:50 in the morning, and I don't usually go to bed till about 10:30, 11 o'clock most nights. In between that time outside of work, I am writing because I know there are aspects of me being an author that I need to improve on. I need to improve on my editing skills. And at first that was a daunting task. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel stupid because I'm an author, but I don't like to edit, you know. Teach yourself. Wherever your weakness is, teach yourself. Grow, okay? There are certain things that I'm working on daily. Besides just the writing, I am working on reading every day, even if it's 2 pages of a book every day. I got like 4 or 5 books that I'm tapping into. One is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Narnia, The Remembrance of Our Great Grandmothers, which is talking about the ancient women of the Bible that got removed. There's this cleaning book I'm working on. I'm reading because there's a big leap of faith that's coming in August. All praises to the Most High. What's the other one? I have a writer's workbook that I'm tapping into. I'm trying to think what's on my nightstand. Oh, and the Grapes of Wrath, which I've said that before. So I'm in and out of all those books. When I tell you I'm reading like 2 pages of each one of them a night, editing constantly. I just got back into editing the story about my healing journey when we lost our sister to an overdose in 2020, so almost 5 years ago. So I'm working on her book. I'm working on the novel. Our sons got us working out. Our oldest son, our 15-year-old, will be 16 this month. He's got us doing all types of exercising and lifting weights, and then we're here comes the season for gardening. So we got a bunch of little sproutlets in the house under lamps that this month we're going to be pushing outside. We planted our second apple tree, which we know that the first one, she's kicking about 4 years old, so she won't bear fruit until her 5th year. So we got about a year and a half, probably 2 seasons really, before we get fruit off our apples. But we're constantly moving, we're constantly doing things. And on the outside, people would say, man, she still ain't got this done and she still ain't got that done. You don't know what somebody's doing behind closed door. Just know that, like, just because you don't see somebody pop up and show off all the time, don't mean they not popping off. There are big projects that I'm working on, big projects my husband and I are working on, big dreams. When I tell you some of the dreams are so outlandish and ridiculous, people would laugh when I say I literally did a Tabitha Brown and I said, by this age, I'm retiring my husband. And I want this amount of money per every business venture that we're seeking, right? And everything that I want, I'm writing it down. Everything. And I'm going back and I'm reminding myself, no, this is what you said you wanted. This is what you said you need to do. So don't let go of your dreams, no matter how old you are. Some things take a lot more time before they can bloom. So just remind yourself constantly that you got this. Learn how to break yourself down. Go in and do that shadow work. People get really scared of that term, but it's really just going back and pulling out the dark things that you hid inside yourself that you're ashamed of and exposing them to the light so the Most High can heal you. And just know that you're not alone. Everybody got a shadow. I truly believe that's why the Most High made sure he gave us one, so we can always see that there's darkness at our heels, but only in the light can you expose it. But you got to be honest with yourself about everything. So, and one of the things in chapter 2 of Think and Grow Rich, he said, if you want a certain type of currency and you want a certain type of life, you have to have a burning desire. You have to be willing to burn bridges, meaning give yourself the opportunity to never go back by canceling things. If that's jobs, friendships, if that's old habits, whatever, you always have to sacrifice something, though, to get what you really want. So, like for me, I stopped watching TV through the week. I only watch TV Friday nights and sometimes on the weekend. And we stopped our boys from watching TV and telling them, what are you doing to work towards your goal? Even our 7-year-old. Making sure they read every night, making sure they're expanding their vocabulary. If there's areas that they're struggling in, we're sitting at the table printing off worksheets. We got a bunch of workbooks that we're about to buy, both of the boys, that's tailored towards the things that they're interested in, so we can invest a certain type of wealth in them, because there's a difference between being wealthy and rich. And we want to be wealthy, which knowledge is a part of wealth. And so we're working constantly. To the point where we just recently had to say, man, we ain't been on a date in a few months. We need to go somewhere together. But just keep your dreams alive. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Take care of your temple. Take care of your body, the inner and outside temples. And be mindful. One of the things Kevin Trudeau says is, who are you listening to? What are you listening to? So I find myself every once in a while dabble in my ratchet music, especially when I work out, because I love Glorilla. Not love. There's a certain song I like that she made that I work out to because the beat, right? But I find myself listening more to jazz, gospel music. I'm very careful about like what I listen to now, like who I listen to. What is it? Drama and gossip? Like I don't want to listen to that. Is it about fighting and stuff? I don't want to listen to that. I don't watch the news at all. I couldn't tell you what's going on in the world. I don't watch it. I don't focus on it. I used to be really tapped into a lot of low frequency stuff. I'm still a tinfoil hat community person. I still think certain things are set up for a reason. But I pulled back from a lot of that stuff. And it's been a wonderful journey. I'm 38 and I'm not giving up on any dream. One of the goals I will share with you guys that I wrote in my journal is I will go to the grave with no dream untapped. I don't care if it's the dumbest thing anybody's ever heard. I don't care if I say I'm going to make what did he say on the Lego movie? A bunk bed sofa. Okay, everything is awesome when you're part of a team. If I say I want to make a bunk bed sofa, okay, it could be the dumbest thing. I'm going to pursue it. So never, ever stop dreaming. Never stop pursuing your goals and dreams. And to whom much is given, much is required. If you bring forth what is within will save you. Your dreams will always save you and provide for you. If you don't, they will destroy you. You'll go to the grave with regret. And the worst thing I can imagine, yes, I'm a sinner and I got to pay for all of that, is going to the Creator who designed you to create, who designed you to make things, and say all I did was pay bills. That's my greatest fear, is going to Abba and saying, I wasted my talents. No, don't waste your talents. Y'all have a wonderful weekend.